Chapter 1: The Discovery in the Enchanted Grove. In the quaint, sun-dappled town of Cogsville, where the streets were paved with cobblestone and the air buzzed with the whispers of invention, lived a spirited girl named Pepper. With her auburn pigtails bobbing with every step and her glasses perched precariously on her nose, Pepper was the epitome of curiosity and wonder. One bright Saturday morning, Pepper set out on her bicycle, her basket filled with the essentials for adventure: a notebook, colored pencils, and a magnifying glass. She pedaled past the town square, waved at Mr. Jenkins, the clockmaker, and zoomed through the archway that marked the entrance to the town park. Cogsville's park was not like any other park. Among its green expanses lay the Enchanted Grove, a place whispered about in bedtime stories and rumored to house wonders beyond imagination. It was here that Pepper's wheels took her, to the edge of mystery and discovery. Dismounting her bicycle at the grove's entrance, Pepper felt a tingle of excitement. The air seemed charged with magic. The sunlight filtering through the leaves cast patterns of light and shadow that danced on the ground. The grove was alive with the sound of gears and soft mechanical chirps, a melody unfamiliar yet inviting. Pepper ventured deeper, her eyes wide with amazement. Then she saw them, pink mechanical birds perched on branches, their bodies a beautiful blend of delicate feathers and intricate gears. Their eyes glowed softly, watching Pepper with cautious curiosity. "Hello," Pepper whispered, her voice barely a breath in the enchanted air. But the birds, with a flutter of mechanical wings, took to the air, leaving Pepper in a swirl of wonder and slight disappointment. Determined not to give up, Pepper took out her notebook and began to sketch. She drew the birds with careful attention to their mechanical details, her pencils dancing across the paper, capturing the essence of their beauty and the mystery that enveloped them. As the sun began to dip lower in the sky, casting a golden glow over the grove, Pepper heard a soft, metallic whirring behind her. She turned around slowly, not wanting to startle her visitor. It was one of the pink mechanical birds, the smallest of them all, its head tilted in curiosity as it observed Pepper's drawings. Pepper smiled, extending a hand gently. "Hi there, I'm Pepper," she said, her voice a blend of warmth and excitement. "What's your name?" The bird hopped closer, its gears clicking softly, and then, to Pepper's surprise, it spoke in a series of chirps and whistles that somehow Pepper understood. "I am Widget," it said, its voice a melody of sounds. Pepper's heart soared. The adventure she had always dreamed of was beginning, right here in the heart of the Enchanted Grove, with a pink mechanical bird named Widget and a sky painted with the hues of discovery. As the stars began to twinkle in the twilight sky, Pepper and Widget talked, or rather, chirped and drew. It was the start of an extraordinary friendship, one that would lead Pepper into adventures she had never imagined. But beyond the grove, a shadow stirred, a hint of challenge that would soon test the bonds of this newfound friendship. For now, however, Pepper's world was filled with the soft glow of mechanical eyes and the promise of untold stories. Chapter 2, Widget's Tale. Under the canopy of twilight, with the enchanted grove bathed in the soft glow of the setting sun, Pepper sat cross-legged on the grass, her eyes wide with fascination, as Widget, the small pink mechanical bird, hopped closer. The other birds watched from a distance, their mechanical hearts ticking with curiosity about this human girl. "Where do you all come from?" Pepper asked, her voice a whisper in the grove's serene quietude. Widget fluffed its mechanical feathers, a gleam in its glowing eyes. Long ago, it began, its voice a symphony of chirps and whistles. Cogsville was a place of boundless invention. Our creator, a brilliant engineer named Ada, dreamed of blending the beauty of nature with the marvels of machinery. Pepper listened intently, her imagination ignited by Widget's tale. Ada crafted us, the pink mechanical birds, as guardians of the grove, to inspire and remind the townsfolk of the harmony between the natural and the engineered. Each of us carries a piece of her spirit, a spark of creativity and wonder. As Widget spoke, the grove seemed to come alive with the memories of Ada's laughter and the clinking of her tools. Pepper could almost see the silhouette of the inventor, her hands deftly assembling the magnificent creatures before her. But, Widget continued, a note of sadness in its melody. Over time, the people of Cogsville forgot the magic of invention. They became busy with their daily lives, too hurried to notice the wonders around them. And so, the grove became hidden, shrouded in mystery, remembered only in stories. Pepper's heart ached at the thought. "But you're here now," she said, reaching out to gently stroke Widget's wing. "And I found you." "Yes," Widget chirped brightly. "And with you, a new chapter begins. One where perhaps, once more, the people of Cogsville will remember and celebrate the blend of nature and machine." Just then, a gust of wind rustled through the trees, carrying with it a chill and the faintest whisper of Rust's mischief. Pepper shivered, not from the cold, but from the realization that their newfound friendship faced a threat. She looked determinedly at Widget. "We'll show them," she declared, "how wonderful this place is, how important it is to remember and dream." Widget nodded, a spark of resolve in its eyes. "But first, we must prepare. Rust is cunning and does not wish for the grove to be rediscovered. It fears the bond between humans and machines, for in that bond lies a power beyond its reach." Pepper stood up, her resolve as strong as the steel of Widget's wings. "Then we'll protect this place, together. We'll make sure the grove, your story, isn't lost again." The stars began to twinkle above, like countless eyes watching over them. That night, Pepper and Widget forged a plan, not just to protect the grove, but to rekindle the spirit of invention and wonder in the hearts of Cogsville's people. As Pepper made her way home under the starlit sky, a blueprint of dreams unfolding in her mind, she knew this was just the beginning. A journey fraught with challenges and discoveries lay ahead. But with friends like Widget, she felt ready to face whatever came their way. And somewhere, in the quiet corners of Cogsville, the legacy of Ada stirred, ready to awaken and bloom once more in the hearts of those willing to see it. Chapter 3, The Mischief of Rust. The following morning, Pepper awoke with the sun, her mind buzzing with excitement. Today, she would return to the Enchanted Grove to see her new friend, Widget. She quickly dressed, grabbed her adventure bag, and pedaled her bicycle down the familiar cobblestone streets towards the park. As Pepper neared the grove, she noticed something unusual. A strange, grayish hue hung over the trees, dampening the vibrant greens and the warm glow of the sun. It was as if a shadow had decided to make the grove its home. Pepper parked her bicycle and hurried inside. The mechanical chirping that had filled the air with joy the day before now sounded worried, anxious. She found Widget and the other mechanical birds huddled together, their eyes dimmed with concern. "What's happened here?" Pepper asked, her voice laced with worry. Widget fluttered closer, its gears ticking softly. "It's rust," he chirped, a cloud filled with envy and spite. "It's jealous of the friendship and harmony in the grove. Rust brings dampness and decay, a threat to us mechanical beings." Pepper looked up to see the cloud in question, swirling ominously above them. It wasn't like any cloud she had seen before. It seemed to pulse with a life of its own, a dark heart beating within. "We must do something," Pepper declared, her determination flaring. "We can't let rust ruin this beautiful place." The birds chirped in agreement, but their worry was palpable. They had never faced a threat like rust before, and their options seemed limited. Pepper thought hard, her mind racing through every story of heroism she had ever read. Then it struck her. Water is rust's weapon, but it can also be its weakness. If we can contain it, keep it from spreading its dampness, we might be able to protect the grove. The mechanical birds twittered excitedly at the idea. It was a glimmer of hope, a chance to save their home. Together, they devised a plan. They would create shields out of the large leaves found in the grove, coated with a mixture of oil and wax to repel water. They would place these shields above the most vulnerable parts of the grove, protecting the mechanical birds and their homes from the dampness rust would try to spread. Pepper worked tirelessly alongside the birds, climbing trees and securing the makeshift shields. It was hard work, and her muscles ached, but the thought of saving the grove and her friends gave her strength. As they worked, Pepper couldn't help but marvel at the ingenuity of her mechanical friends. They approached problems with a blend of creativity and logic, teaching her that sometimes the solution lies in looking at things from a different angle. Night fell by the time they finished their preparations. The grove was dotted with their handmade shields, a testament to their determination and teamwork. As they gathered in the heart of the grove, exhausted but hopeful, they looked up at Rust, who seemed to churn angrily above them. "We've done all we can," Pepper said, squeezing Widget's wing gently. "Now, we wait." The mechanical birds chirped softly, nestling close to Pepper. Together, they watched as the first drops of rain began to fall, a silent battle between the ingenuity of friends and the envy of Rust. As the night deepened, the rain grew heavier, but the shields held strong. Pepper and her friends watched in awe as the water slid off the leaves, unable to touch the grove beneath. By dawn, the rain had ceased, and Rust, defeated, and diminished, drifted away. The grove was safe, its beauty preserved by the courage and quick thinking of a young girl and her pink mechanical birds. As the sun broke through the clouds, casting a golden light over the grove, Pepper knew that this adventure was only the beginning. She had found friends in the most unlikely of places, and together they had faced a challenge that had seemed insurmountable. But the world outside the Enchanted Grove was vast, and Pepper's curiosity was boundless. She looked at her friends, a smile spreading across her face. "Ready for the next adventure?" she asked. The mechanical birds chirped in unison, their eyes bright with excitement and gratitude. Yes, they were ready for whatever came next, as long as they faced it together. And so, with hearts full of joy and minds eager for the next challenge, Pepper and her mechanical friends stepped into the new day, ready to explore the mysteries of Cogsville and beyond. Chapter 4: The Gathering Storm. As the days passed in the Enchanted Grove, Pepper and Widget, along with Tinker and Gizmo, grew inseparable. Their days were filled with laughter, exploration, and the sharing of stories and inventions. Yet, amidst the joy, a shadow loomed on the horizon, a literal one at that. Rust, the envious cloud, had been watching from afar, growing darker and more ominous with each passing moment. One evening, as Pepper sketched by the light of a lantern, the air grew chill, and the sky turned a deep shade of gray. The mechanical birds became restless, their gears clicking in concern. Widget fluttered to Pepper's side, its eyes reflecting the darkening sky. "Pepper," Widget chirped anxiously. "Rust is planning something. We can feel the storm brewing. It's unlike any we've faced before." Pepper looked up, her brow furrowed with worry. She had come to love the grove and its inhabitants. The thought of anything harming them filled her with a resolve she hadn't known she possessed. "We won't let Rust win," Pepper declared, standing up. Her voice carried a determination that surprised even her. "We'll protect the grove together." The mechanical birds rallied around Pepper, their spirits lifted by her courage. They began to devise a plan, drawing upon Pepper's knack for puzzles and their own mechanical ingenuity. As they planned, the first drops of rain began to fall, gentle at first, but growing in intensity. Rust's laughter, a sound like the creaking of old hinges, echoed through the grove, chilling and cruel. Pepper and the birds worked quickly, moving through the grove to reinforce the shelters and secure the mechanical flora against the storm. Tinker guided them with wisdom. Gizmo fetched tools and materials with swift agility, and Widget stayed by Pepper's side, offering support. The storm hit in full force, a maelstrom of wind and water, lightning and thunder. The grove shuddered under the assault, but Pepper and her friends stood firm. They moved through the storm, fixing, supporting, and protecting, a dance of determination amidst chaos. In the heart of the storm, as Rust unleashed its fury, Pepper spotted a group of young mechanical birds, huddled and frightened under a leaf. Without hesitation, she dashed through the rain, her friends following close behind. They reached the birds, shielding them with their bodies, and led them to safety. The night wore on, a battle of wills between the storm and the defenders of the grove. And then, as suddenly as it had begun, the storm abated. The revealing a sky filled with stars, a silent witness to the bravery and resilience on the ground. As dawn broke, the grove stood battered but unbroken. The mechanical birds chirped in relief and gratitude, their songs mingling with the sounds of dripping water and rustling leaves. Pepper, soaked but smiling, knew that they had faced Rust's challenge and emerged stronger. "We did it," she whispered, her voice filled with awe and pride. "Together." The birds gathered around her, their mechanical hearts beating in unison with Pepper's human one. They had protected their home, but more importantly, they had solidified their bond, a fusion of heart and gears, nature and machine. The storm had passed, but its aftermath would reveal new challenges and adventures for Pepper and her mechanical companions. Yet, whatever lay ahead, they knew they would face it together, as friends, as family. The sun's rays filtered through the leaves, casting the grove in a soft, golden light. It was a new day in Cogsville, full of possibilities and the promise of new beginnings. Pepper looked around at her friends, their faces alight with hope, and smiled. The adventure was just beginning. Chapter 5: Pepper's Ingenious Plan. As the sun dipped below the horizon, painting the sky in shades of orange and purple, Pepper and her mechanical friends gathered in the heart of the Enchanted Grove. The air was thick with anticipation, and the distant rumble of Rust's approaching storm echoed like a warning. Pepper, with her notebook open on her lap, looked around at the anxious faces of Tinker, Gizmo, Widget, and the other mechanical birds. The grove, with its gear-laden trees and glowing flowers, felt more vulnerable than ever. "We need to protect the grove," Pepper declared, her voice steady despite the flutter in her heart. "And I have an idea, but I'll need everyone's help." Tinker, the oldest and wisest of the birds, nodded. "Tell us, Pepper, what do you propose?" Pepper took a deep breath and began to explain her plan. Rust is afraid of two things: joy and creativity. We can't stop the storm, but we can shield the grove with what we do best, being inventive and happy. The birds exchanged puzzled glances, but their trust in Pepper shone bright. "First, we need to collect as many luminous flowers as we can. Their light can guide us through the darkness," Pepper continued, sketching her ideas rapidly. "Then, we'll use the gears and wires from the workshop to create a dome over the grove. The dome won't be just any shelter. It will be a canvas for our creativity." Widget chirped excitedly. "We can project images of our happiest memories onto the dome, showing Rust that its darkness can't dim our spirits." Pepper smiled, pleased with Widget's quick grasp of the plan. "Exactly. And for the final touch, we'll weave the melody of our mechanical hearts into a song, a symphony of gears and whistles that will resonate through the storm." The grove buzzed with activity as Pepper and the mechanical birds set to work. They gathered luminous flowers, their petals glowing softly in the twilight. They twisted wires and turned gears, engineering a marvel of mechanics and nature. As the first drops of rain began to fall, the dome rose above the grove, a testament to their determination and teamwork. Night had fallen when they finished, the grove now enveloped in a protective bubble of light and ingenuity. Pepper and the birds huddled together, watching as the storm clouds rolled in, darker and more ominous than any they had seen before. As rust unleashed its fury, the dome flickered to life. Images of sunny days, blooming flowers, and the joyful antics of the mechanical birds danced across the surface, a riot of color against the gray onslaught. The melody of the grove, a symphony of mechanical harmony, rose above the howl of the wind, a beacon of hope and defiance. Inside the dome, Pepper and her friends watched in awe as their creation held strong against the storm. There was laughter, and there were moments of fear, but above all, there was a sense of unity that no storm could shatter. As dawn broke, the storm subsided and rust retreated, its shadows fading with the night. The grove stood untouched, a haven of light and color amidst the dreary aftermath. Pepper, surrounded by her mechanical friends, gazed at the world they had protected. They had faced rust's wrath with creativity and joy, proving that even the darkest storms could be weathered with innovation and the strength of friendship. In the heart of the Enchanted Grove, a little girl and her pink mechanical birds had crafted more than just a shelter from the storm. They had built a legacy of courage and imagination that would inspire Cogsville for generations to come. Chapter 6: The Night of Gears and Stars. As the sun dipped below the horizon, casting a golden hue over Cogsville, the Enchanted Grove was alight with anticipation. Pepper, with Widget perched on her shoulder, and their friends, Tinker and Gizmo, gathered in the heart of the grove. They were not alone. The entire community of mechanical birds had assembled, their glowing eyes and vibrant plumage illuminating the twilight. The storm rust had conjured loomed on the horizon, dark clouds swirling ominously. But within the grove, there was no fear, only determination, fueled by the bond of friendship that Pepper and the birds had forged. Pepper unfolded her plan, a blueprint that combined the wonders of mechanical intelligence with the purest form of courage. She had devised a network of wind chimes and mirrors, crafted from the spare parts and reflective surfaces found within the grove. This ingenious contraption was designed to disperse the storm clouds, using the power of light and sound. Tinker, wise and experienced, nodded in approval. "Your creativity knows no bounds, Pepper," he chirped, his voice a symphony of mechanical whistles. Gizmo and Widget buzzed in agreement, their wings fluttering with excitement. As the first drops of rain began to fall, the residents of the grove sprang into action. With precision and grace, they installed the wind chimes on the branches of the gear-laden trees, while the mirrors were strategically placed to catch the last rays of the setting sun. Pepper, standing in the center of the grove, held a small, hand-cranked generator. This was the heart of their plan, the source of energy that would bring the chimes and mirrors to life. With a deep breath, she began to turn the crank, her determination unwavering. Slowly, the grove came alive with a gentle tinkling of chimes, a melody that rose above the howling wind. The mirrors, catching the light of the stars now emerging in the night sky, cast beams of light that danced through the storm clouds, piercing the darkness. The effect was magical. The clouds, caught in the enchantment of light and sound, began to dissipate, their dark forms melting away into the night. Rust, its strength waning in the face of such unity and ingenuity, could only watch as its storm was undone. As the last of the clouds vanished, the grove was bathed in starlight, a canopy of glittering jewels above. The mechanical birds, in awe of what they had achieved together, lifted into the air, their bodies aglow, creating a dazzling display of light and color. Pepper, her heart full of joy, watched as her friends danced among the stars. Tinker landed beside her, his eyes shining. Tonight, we have shown that together, there's no storm we cannot face, he said, his voice full of pride. The night of gears and stars would be remembered in Cogsville as the night when the impossible was achieved, not through might, but through the power of friendship, creativity, and the unyielding spirit of a girl named Pepper and her mechanical companions. In the silence that followed, as the residents of the grove settled down, a sense of peace and unity enveloped them. They had faced adversity and emerged stronger, a testament to the bonds that they had formed. And as Pepper gazed up at the stars, she knew that this adventure was only the beginning. There were more puzzles to solve, more challenges to face, but with her friends by her side, she was ready for whatever came next. In the heart of the Enchanted Grove, beneath a sky of gears and stars, the seeds of change had been sown, promising a future where nature and technology danced in harmony, guided by the light of friendship and the brilliance of mechanical intelligence. Chapter 7: Dawn of Understanding. As the first light of dawn crept over the horizon, painting the sky in hues of pink and gold, the Enchanted Grove slowly emerged from the shadows of the night storm. The rain had ceased, and in its wake, a serene silence enveloped the grove. Pepper, Tinker, Gizmo, Widget, and the other mechanical birds gathered in the heart of the grove, their eyes reflecting the morning light, a testament to their triumph over Rust's tempest. Pepper, with her clothes still damp and her hair tousled by the night's endeavors, beamed with a mixture of exhaustion and exhilaration. She had done it. They had all done it together. The grove stood resilient, its beauty untouched by the storm, thanks to their collective efforts and Pepper's ingenious plan. But the true magic of that morning was not just in their victory or the mechanical wonders that surrounded them. It was in the arrival of the townsfolk of Cogsville, who, drawn by the tales of the storm and the curiosity that had been awakened the night before, ventured into the grove for the first time. Led by Mr. Jenkins, the clockmaker, whose eyes sparkled with a mix of wonder and disbelief, the people of Cogsville stepped into the grove. Children clung to their parents' hands, their faces alight with awe as they beheld the pink mechanical birds fluttering among the trees, their wings catching the sunlight in a dazzling display of colors. Pepper watched as the initial hesitation of the townsfolk gave way to fascination. She heard their gasps of wonder, saw their smiles of delight, and felt a warm glow of pride. This was the moment of understanding she had hoped for, the moment when her world and that of the mechanical birds would no longer be a secret, hidden away from the eyes of others. Tinker, the wise old bird who had seen many sunrises, perched on Pepper's shoulder, its mechanical heart humming softly. "You have brought us together, Pepper," Tinker chirped in its melody of sounds. "You have shown your people the beauty of our world, the magic of friendship between all beings, be they of flesh or gear." The children were the first to approach, their curiosity unbounded. They reached out tentatively to the birds, their fingers brushing against metallic feathers, their laughter mingling with the mechanical chirps and whistles. And as the adults watched, their skepticism melted away, replaced by a sense of wonderment and an appreciation for the ingenuity that had created these mechanical marvels. Pepper, with a smile as bright as the morning, turned to Mr. Jenkins. "They're not just machines," she explained. "They're friends. They have stories, dreams, and a home here, just like us." Mr. Jenkins nodded, his gaze softening as he watched a young boy giggle in delight when Widget playfully tugged at his hair. "You're right, Pepper," he said, his voice tinged with emotion. "It's a lesson for us all. There's magic in understanding, in seeing the heart within the machine." As the sun rose higher, casting its golden light over the grove, a new chapter began for Cogsville. A chapter of unity and exploration, of shared dreams and boundless imaginations. Pepper and her mechanical friends had bridged a world, proving that the heart of friendship knows no boundaries, no differences. And as for Rust, the envious cloud that had once threatened their happiness, it lingered no more. In its place, a gentle rain nourished the grove, a symbol of renewal and growth. For in the dawn of understanding, even the most stubborn hearts could learn to change. The people of Cogsville left the Enchanted Grove that day with stories to tell and dreams to nurture. And at the center of it all was Pepper, a girl who believed in the magic of friendship, whether it came with a heartbeat or the whir of gears. As the day unfolded, the grove buzzed with a new energy, a testament to the bonds that had been formed. And though the adventures of Pepper and the pink mechanical birds were far from over, this moment, this dawn of understanding, would forever remain a cherished memory in the hearts of all who had witnessed it. Chapter 8: The Festival of Feathers and Gears. After the storm had passed and the Enchanted Grove was safe once more, the townsfolk of Cogsville, inspired by Pepper and her mechanical friends, decided to celebrate. They declared a day where the wonders of imagination, nature, and technology would come together in a grand festival. The Festival of Feathers and Gears. Early in the morning, the air in Cogsville was filled with excitement and the scent of fresh paint and blooming flowers. The townsfolk worked together, decorating the streets with banners and garlands that sparkled with metallic leaves and vibrant feathers. Inventors and dreamers from all corners of the town brought their creations to display, turning the main square into a dazzling exhibit of innovation and creativity. Pepper, wearing a special badge made of gears and feathers given to her by Tinker, Widget, and Gizmo, was at the heart of it all. Her eyes sparkled with joy as she helped set up the stalls and laid out the inventions and gadgets that the townsfolk had brought. There were clocks that could paint, teapots that sang melodies, and even a bicycle that could fly short distances. Each invention was a testament to the endless possibilities when imagination was set free. As the sun reached its zenith, the festival officially began. The air was filled with music from mechanical orchestras, and the sky was dotted with colorful balloons shaped like birds. Children ran through the streets, their laughter mingling with the whirring of gears and the fluttering of mechanical wings. Pepper and her pink mechanical bird friends led the parade through Cogsville, marching proudly to the rhythm of drums and the cheers of the crowd. Gizmo and Widget performed aerial dances, weaving through the air with grace, while Tinker told stories of distant lands and ancient times when machines and nature lived in harmony. At the center of the square, Pepper unveiled her latest invention, a fountain that used the principles of mechanical birds to draw water up and sprinkle it down like gentle rain, creating rainbows in the sunlight. It was a symbol of the new bond between the townsfolk and the mechanical wonders of the Enchanted Grove. As the day turned into evening, the festival showed no signs of slowing. Lanterns lit the streets, casting a warm glow over faces young and old. The townsfolk gathered around a large screen where Pepper and the mechanical birds shared their adventure, showing how courage, friendship, and ingenuity had saved the Enchanted Grove from Rust's wrath. The festival ended with a display of fireworks that lit up the night sky, each burst of color reflecting the dreams and hopes of Cogsville. As the last firework faded, Pepper stood beside her mechanical friends, their silhouettes outlined against the starlit sky. Today was just the beginning, Pepper said, her voice full of promise. Together, we can create a world where imagination knows no bounds. The Festival of Feathers and Gears would be remembered as the day Cogsville embraced the future with open arms, inspired by a little girl and her pink mechanical birds. It was a celebration of the beauty of coming together, of the wonders that could be achieved when hearts and minds worked in unison towards a dream of harmony and innovation. And as Pepper looked around at the smiling faces of her friends and the townsfolk, she knew that this was just the start of many more adventures to come. Chapter 9: Rust's Redemption. As the Festival of Feathers and Gears reached its crescendo, with the town of Cogsville alight with joy and the marvels of ingenuity, a shadow lingered at the edge of the Enchanted Grove. Rust, the envious cloud that had once sought to dampen the spirits of Pepper and her mechanical friends, watched from afar, its essence swirling with confusion and a newfound sense of longing. Pepper, in her element among the laughter and the clinking of gears, noticed the distant gloom. Her heart, now attuned to the harmonies of friendship and understanding, sensed the isolation of Rust. With a determined step, she excused herself from the festivities and approached the boundary where light met shadow. "Rust," she called softly, her voice carrying a warmth that stirred the cool air. "Won't you join us? The festival is as much for you as it is for all of Cogsville." Rust churned, its form shifting, as if wrestling with an internal storm. "Why would you invite me? After all the trouble I've caused?" Pepper's smile was gentle, illuminated by the glow of lanterns. Because, she explained, making mistakes doesn't make you unwelcome. It's what you learn from them that counts. And besides, everyone deserves a chance at friendship. Moved by Pepper's words, rust began to dissipate, its essence warming and brightening. What was once a threatening cloud transformed into a gentle mist, sparkling under the festival lights. With a tentative drift, rust joined the celebration, merging with the laughter and music, becoming a part of the grove's magic. The mechanical birds, led by Widget, Tinker, and Gizmo, fluttered around, their gears gleaming. They, too, had learned the value of forgiveness and the strength found in unity. Together, they orchestrated a dance of feathers and gears, a spectacle that drew gasps and applause from the townsfolk. As the dance concluded, Pepper stood beside her friends, both human and mechanical, her heart full. She turned to Rust, now no longer a cloud, but a shimmering light, and said, "See, differences can bring us together, just as much as they can set us apart. It's all about how we choose to see and learn from them." Rust, in its new form, shimmered in agreement, casting a soft, radiant light over the grove. It had found its place, not as a foe, but as a friend, thanks to a little girl who believed in the power of redemption and the strength of compassion. As the night drew to a close, the people of Cogsville returned to their homes, hearts light and spirits high. They had witnessed the birth of new friendships, the bridging of worlds, and the transformation of an adversary into an ally. The Festival of Feathers and Gears would be remembered not just for its spectacle, but for the lessons it imparted about understanding, acceptance, and the endless possibilities of redemption. Pepper, looking up at the stars twinkling above the Enchanted Grove, felt a profound sense of peace. She had helped heal old wounds and brought together beings of different worlds. And in doing so, she had discovered the true essence of friendship. It knows no bounds, no limits, and sometimes it requires the courage to embrace the unexpected. With a final glance at her mechanical friends and the light that was once Rust, Pepper knew that this was just the beginning. There were many more adventures ahead, many more puzzles to solve, and an entire world of friendships to explore. And as she made her way back to the warmth of her home, the night whispered promises of tomorrow's wonders, echoing with the soft, harmonious chirps of pink mechanical birds and the gentle shimmer of a redeemed light. Chapter 10: The Secret Beneath the Grove. After the Festival of Feathers and Gears had concluded, with its laughter and music still echoing through the streets of Cogsville, Pepper lay awake, pondering the mysteries of the Enchanted Grove. There was a tale. Tinker, the oldest of the pink mechanical birds, had hinted at, but never fully revealed. A tale of invention, of dreams, and of a secret that lay hidden beneath the very roots of the grove itself. The next morning, armed with curiosity and accompanied by Widget, Gizmo, and Tinker, Pepper ventured back into the grove. The sunlight filtered through the leaves, casting a mosaic of light that seemed to guide their path. "Tinker, what is this secret you spoke of?" Pepper asked, her voice tinged with excitement and anticipation. Tinker's gears whirred softly, and he led the way to a secluded part of the grove where a grand oak stood, its roots sprawling like the arms the earth itself. Beneath this tree, hidden from unobservant eyes, was a small, intricately carved door. "This," Tinker began, his voice a melody of chimes and whistles, "is the entrance to the heart of the grove, where the first seed of an idea that blossomed into our existence was planted." With a touch from Tinker, the door creaked open, revealing a staircase spiraling down into darkness. Pepper and her companions descended, the air around them charged with the magic of untold stories. At the bottom of the staircase lay a chamber, illuminated by phosphorescent moss that cast a soft, ethereal glow. The walls were lined with blueprints and designs, intricate diagrams of gears and feathers, circuits and wings. At the chamber's center stood a table, upon which lay a book bound in leather, its pages filled with the handwriting of the grove's creators. "These are the dreams of Cogsville's greatest inventors," Tinker explained. "They envisioned a world where nature and machine harmonized, where intelligence, both organic and mechanical, could coexist and learn from one another." Pepper flipped through the pages, her eyes widening with each design, each note of hope and aspiration. Here lay the blueprint for Tinker, Gizmo, Widget, and all the mechanical birds of the grove. Here was the proof that dreams, no matter how fanciful, could take flight. "It's beautiful," Pepper whispered, a sense of awe enveloping her. "They dreamed of you, and now you're here, living, thinking, friends." Tinker nodded, a soft clink echoing in his affirmative gesture. "And you, Pepper, have helped us realize another part of their dream, the bond between human and machine, the friendship that knows no bounds." As they emerged from the chamber, the grove seemed to welcome them back with open arms, its leaves whispering stories of the past and promises of the future. Pepper looked at her friends, her heart full. "This secret," she said, gesturing to the grove around them, "it's not just about where you came from, but where we're all going, together." And so, beneath the canopy of the Enchanted Grove, a new chapter in the story of Cogsville was being written, one where curiosity paved the way for unity, and dreams, no matter how deeply buried, could find the light of day. As they returned to the sunlit world above, Pepper knew that the adventure was far from over. There were more secrets to uncover, more dreams to chase. And with her friends by her side, she was ready for whatever came next. Chapter 11, Widget's Gift. As the golden sun rose above the horizon, casting a warm glow over the town of Cogsville, the Enchanted Grove shimmered with an ethereal light. The events of the Festival of Feathers and Gears still danced in the memories of the townsfolk. A celebration that had brought together the wonders of nature and the marvels of mechanics in perfect harmony. Pepper, with her heart full of joy and her mind buzzing with ideas, wandered through the grove, her gaze lingering on the mechanical birds that now flitted freely among the trees. Widget, Gizmo, and Tinker followed her closely, their gears whirring softly in the morning quiet. "Pepper," Widget chirped, its voice a melody that seemed to harmonize with the rustle of the leaves. "We have something for you." Pepper turned to see the mechanical birds congregating around a small, ornately crafted pedestal that she had never noticed before. Tinker, with a gentle nudge, encouraged her to step forward. On the pedestal sat a delicate mechanical bird, unlike any she had seen before. It was smaller, its feathers a blend of the softest pinks and golds, with tiny gears glistening under its plumage. Its eyes sparkled with a light that seemed to hold the very essence of the grove. "This is for you, Pepper," Tinker said, his voice filled with warmth. "A symbol of our friendship and gratitude. We've named her Melody, for she carries the song of our hearts, a reminder of the bond we share." Tears of joy and surprise welled up in Pepper's eyes as she carefully picked up Melody. The little bird chirped happily, nestling into her hands with trust and affection. "Thank you," Pepper whispered, her voice trembling with emotion. "I will cherish her always." Gizmo and Widget chirped excitedly, flapping their wings in approval. They took turns explaining how Melody was crafted with the finest gears and springs found in the grove, designed to be a companion to Pepper, capable of understanding and communicating with her in a way no other mechanical bird could. As Pepper listened, she realized that Melody was not just a gift. She was a bridge between her world and the magical realm of the Enchanted Grove. Through Melody, Pepper would always be connected to her mechanical friends, a constant reminder of the adventures they had shared and the lessons they had learned together. The day unfolded with laughter and stories as Pepper and the birds shared their dreams for the future. The townsfolk, curious and enchanted by the mechanical birds, visited the grove, marveling at the harmony between Pepper and her friends. As the sun set, painting the sky in hues of orange and purple, Pepper sat with Melody perched on her shoulder, watching the stars begin to twinkle in the twilight. She realized that the greatest puzzles of all were the ones that brought hearts together, bridging worlds and creating friendships that transcended boundaries. Widget's gift had been more than a mechanical bird. It was a testament to the power of kindness, curiosity, and the unbreakable bonds of friendship. And as Pepper looked to the stars, she knew that this was just the beginning of many more adventures to come, with her friends by her side and Melody's song in her heart. In the quiet of the grove, beneath the watchful gaze of the stars, Pepper and her pink mechanical birds shared a moment of perfect peace, a promise of endless possibilities, and the magic that awaited them in the days to come. Chapter 12. Epilogue. A New Dawn for Cogsville. As the first rays of dawn stretched across the sky, painting Cogsville in hues of gold and pink, Pepper stood at the edge of the Enchanted Grove, her heart filled with a warmth that mirrored the sunrise. The festival of feathers and gears had come to a close, leaving behind a trail of laughter, wonder, and the gentle whirring of mechanical wings. Beside her, Tinker, Gizmo, Widget, and now Rust, no longer a menacing cloud, but a gentle mist that watered the grove's flowers, watched the town awaken. The adventure that had begun with curiosity and a dash of bravery had transformed not just Pepper and her mechanical friends, but the entire town of Cogsville. People and machines, Pepper mused aloud. We're not so different, are we? We dream, we hope, and more than anything, we seek connection. Tinker, with its wise, glowing eyes, chirped in agreement, a sound that was now familiar and dear to Pepper's ears. The adventure had taught them all something invaluable. To the mechanical birds, it was the courage to trust and the joy of friendship. To the people of Cogsville, it was the wonder of innovation and the beauty of harmonizing with the magic hidden in their world. And to Pepper, it was the realization that the heart of every puzzle lay in understanding and empathy, be it towards a friend made of flesh or gears. As the day fully broke, a new chapter for Cogsville began. The Grove became a place of learning and exploration, where children and adults alike marveled at the ingenuity of the past and dreamed of the possibilities of the future. Pepper, with her notebook always at hand, became a bridge between two worlds, teaching and learning in equal measure. But the greatest gift of all was from her pink mechanical friends. In the center of the grove, standing tall and proud, was a new addition, a mechanical tree, its branches laden with blossoms of pink and gold. And within its trunk, a heart, beating not with blood, but with the rhythm of the earth itself. "This is for you, Pepper," which it chirped, "for your bravery, your kindness, and your heart, which sees no difference between a bird of feathers and one of gears." Pepper's eyes glistened with tears as she embraced her friends. "This," she whispered, "is only the beginning. Together, we'll solve many more puzzles, not just in Cogsville, but wherever curiosity takes us." And so, as Cogsville embraced the day, its horizon broadened by the unity of imagination and innovation, Pepper and her friends knew that their journey was far from over. For in a world where the heart leads the way, every dawn brings a new adventure, a new mystery, and a new chance to discover the magic that binds us all. The story of Pepper and the pink bird puzzle might have reached its conclusion, but the lessons it imparted of friendship, understanding, and the endless possibilities when worlds collide would live on in the hearts of those who heard it. A timeless tale of a girl, her mechanical birds, and a town forever changed by the power of empathy and innovation.